What is going on, everybody out there in podcast land?
Yo, yo.
Yo.
Hello, my darlings.
What up, guys? I hope everyone liked that new little intro out there. Monster spent a lot of time on it. He worked really hard on it. And
Bravo,
it was
sir.
his artistic vision that, that little skit in the beginning, which cracks me up. So, thanks, man. Welcome, Alabrije. A familiar
Yo.
face.
Thanks for having me. Always good to be back.
Good to have
Oh,
you back
yeah,
on,
dude.
brother.
Always a
great.
pleasure. Truly.
Indeed. This is like the third summer now in a row, I think, we've had you on the show, just because you are up to some really cool stuff.
Well, thank you.
As
Yeah.
always.
Hear about
I
it.
mean, really.
I like that we have our regular schedule. It's summertime. Time to get back on cultivation conversation. Hang out with my friends. Talk about autoflowers. Love it.
Amen.
Yeah. Up to a lot of stuff these days. So excited to dive in.
Hell yeah. Well, before we get into all things Alabrije tonight, what do you have in your pipe this evening, sir?
I'm rocking the Mighty tonight, doing a little vaping.
Nice.
I've got some. It's one of mine. It's called the West Coast Tucadillo, which is it's a Tangy F3 that was a super mango fino. This one's in honor of G3 tonight. I know she likes her mango.
Ooh.
And
do,
that was
very
was
much.
crossed with Marathon OG. So it's kind of like a mango, skunky, gassy mango OG type of thing.
I can get behind that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds like a
solid.
great combination. I mean, how do you like the Mighty, by the way?
Overall, I love it. It's
Yeah?
I got the little pods, and it's easy just through the day to just like load up 10 pods, and then you're just sort of ready to roll. And it keeps me just kind of. I don't use it in the evening very much, but it felt appropriate for the podcast. It's kind of like diet weed a little bit, you're not like
Diet weed,
super
I like that.
stoned or anything, but it keeps me just sort of at a mellow pace through the day. But it rocks, man. The device inside is really killer. I've got a Volcano, and it's definitely comparable
Oh, word.
as far as like a pocket size thing goes.
Hell yeah. Oh, that's actually quite interesting if you say it compares to the Volcano. I mean, really, that's the only vape that I feel like ever actually got me high enough to the point that I feel satisfied. Like, it's diet weed, but it's good diet weed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we took a little vacation earlier this spring, and we took 2 weeks off of smoking, and when we came back, we were vape only for the next. We made it almost 2 months, but not quite. But as soon as we started smoking, we noticed the vape effects kind of deteriorated, and it just in comparison. So it's a big perception thing. I think when you're vape only, you can get a lot of satisfaction from it, but when you're trying to do both,
Interesting.
I think your endocannabinoid system, you're looking for that more intense effect, and then in comparison, the vape just doesn't quite do it.
I
Yeah.
have to agree with that. It sounds logical, sir. Well, yeah, let's do a little around the horn, guys. What do you got tonight,
Round the
G3?
horn.
As is tradition, what are you smoking on?
Me? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I have no Alabrije left. I had searched through my entire collection. No Alabrije left.
That's a good. I'll take that as a compliment.
That is, I mean, they don't stick around. They
No,
go fast.
they don't, man.
I get my hands on her, and I don't basically go to anything else. I just move straight through her whenever she's appropriate. So, I actually found my jar of Mango Smile.
Nice.
So I had like this much left in a jar, and it was gone, missing, MIA, and I found it.
Good.
Yes.
It's it's like,
Okay.
sometimes you want to hide that really good stuff from yourself too, just so you can I used to do that and like hide $50 from myself in a drawer somewhere, and like it's the greatest
clever.
day ever when you find it.
I mean,
Same with
really,
weed.
it's using our weaknesses as a strength.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
So,
Exactly.
I like that. I like that a lot. But yeah, mango's
Yeah.
not. It's a mango kind of night, I guess. Cap, you gonna keep the streak alive? You got some mango up there?
No, I'm not. I am smoking Alabrije. Well, I'm smoking some of his
Bravo.
genetics. I would never smoke you.
Ugh. What's the terps on that?
Never
I'm a
smoke
pretty
you.
dirty hippie tip.
That's funny, man. Well, I am indulging in some of your Salmoso OG,
Nice
which, man, like one of the greatest, most pleasure to grow plants I've ever had in my garden. She was big, she was beautiful, she was easy, she was loose. Let me do with her whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted.
Nice.
No, she was just like she went along with the flow, you know, like went with the program, didn't give me any guff, and man, like the colors on her at the end were just phenomenal, and the smoke is exceptional, like A+. I actually, one of the biggest harvests I've gotten, I pulled about half an LB from her, about
Nice.
8 ounces dry.
Whoa, nice.
This is
yeah.
my big jar, you know, of like the top nugs, the ones that I like to show off, you know, just like that's a showpiece nug right there.
Gorgeous.
I
Anyone,
can see the spiral on that too.
right? That like helix.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone who takes a look at this stuff is just like, you know, they're floored. And then anyone who gets to smoke this stuff is just as floored, if not more so. Like it's a strong one, man.
What are you going around showing the jar, teasing people?
No, but you know, like when guests come over and stuff, like sister-in-law, brother-in-law, just family,
Yeah.
people that I trust, and this is one that always catches their eye, and then when I let them try it, it knocks them on their ass. I mean, is it an indica dominant strain?
I'd say so. It was Emerald Fire OG from Humboldt Seed Company crossed with my dog walker, which was it was from the F3 pollen, which was pretty broadleaf dominant, and the Emerald Fire OG was that it gave it that big bushy structure. But I feel like it brought a lot of the chem and the gas kind of forward from the dog walker. So that was a favorite, and I miss having that one in the rotation. Time to whip her out again.
Whew. Dude, it's like it's piney, it's skunky and piney. Definitely like has that earthy note up front, but then it has this gassy note, and it has like a sweetness behind it all. I don't want to say like baking spice because it's kind of overused, but no, it's like this is like a showpiece bud, showpiece weed. Like this is what I brag about to people when I'm like, yeah, look what I grew. So
Oh,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. Thank you. What kind words. I'm
it's-
honored.
hey man, like your stuff is just it speaks for itself. You know, like I wouldn't say this unless it were true. And all the others I've grown from you, from Tangy to Bluesaroso to Sour Peresoso, and man, I just harvested that Permanent Holiday.
You've been through a lot. Yeah, damn. I
Oh
forgot.
yeah, I've definitely grown. I'm trying to collect them all at some
And
point.
there was the Salmosa round with the soil beavers too. I remember that.
Yes, there was.
Yes. Soil beavers.
That was the
That
soil
was a good
beaver
one.
episode. You are
Forgot
correct.
about that one.
I totally just that dawned on me.
So yeah,
Those
no,
little
it was
fuckers.
she was a long time coming, and like for it to pan out this good, like in all categories, is just yeah. I'm as happy as a pig in shit.
Well, if you're happy, I'm
Yeah.
happy.
Oink, oink, motherfucker. Nice.
About you, monster.
I am actually smoking on some of that BGG George's root beer.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
He did really good with this one. It was it's one of those I it's hard to even almost describe the terps because it's kind of unique. I get like a sweet, almost vanilla spice, and then it's not on every hit, but like I get like a chem aftertaste. I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard to describe, but I do enjoy it.
Nice.
We
Shout out
love the
BGG.
chem, and we love
Yeah.
BGG.
Yeah, we love BGG. Shout out to another friend of the show.
So speaking of a kind of root beer thing, real quick, all right? You guys ever hear of a soda called Moxie?
Yeah, it's my
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, yeah.
That-
I mean,
that's
it's from
Really?
up in Maine.
No.
It's your shit.
I love
Dude,
that.
so-
Holy shit.
It is apparently like the original soda, right?
Yeah. I
Like
guess. I
before-
mean,
It's
all of
well. it
So-
is-
Like cream soda.
it used to be made in New Bedford, New Hampshire, and then Coke bought them out. And then for the longest time, it wasn't available. But they're putting it back out now. I don't drink soda often, but when I do, I try to find Moxie. It's not in every store. It's hard to find.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I discovered that like it was the original soda before Coke, before root beer, before Dr. Pepper. Like there was Moxie, and it was like it's this really interesting blend that's like it's beyond root beer. It has like almost like a licorice and a cream soda aspect to it.
I can't
So
describe how it
strange.
tastes.
Very
Lots of
interesting.
weird stuff, man. But my wife said it was like black cherry cream soda. Kind of
I mean,
maybe.
I don't know.
It is
It's
a
so
truly
hard.
unique taste.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
People
find
either
some.
People
Yeah, you should
either
try
love
it.
it or hate it. It's a
should try
love-hate
it.
thing. My wife fucking hates it. My son
Yeah?
loves it. Yeah.
I would be on the latter end of that.
If you like root beer and you like
I do.
black licorice,
Yeah.
you probably love it.
See, my wife hates black licorice but loves root beer. Can't stand the taste of Moxie.
Well,
I come from the food and beverage development background, so I love
yeah,
trying.
that's
I
right.
love trying new things like that and just trying to like dissect them and
Yeah, if you
Trying
could
to-
dissect
Yeah,
it,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
you'd
you'd
would,
have a
good.
field day. I'd love
That'd
to
be-
hear your
it'd be-
assessment.
I'll have to send you a bottle. The problem is it's gonna get shaken up. It's gonna be fucking taste like shit by the time it gets
yeah,
here.
it's complex for sure.
I'll track
But,
it down. We have some like stores around here that have like funky sodas that are sourced from
So somebody
over.
told me, do you guys have Cracker Barrels out there?
yeah.
Somebody told me it's in Cracker Barrel.
Okay.
At like the
That would
general
actually
soda.
make sense from just like a logical standpoint.
Well, if Coke bought them out, I've been to the world of Coca-Cola, and they have like at the end you can try all these different sodas
Oh,
from
yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
over the world. So I'm
They got it
I'm
there.
sure it's on one of the machines there too.
There you go.
For sure. Yeah.
Let's get to weed.
Check it out, guys.
motherfucker.
Check it out. Yeah, let's get to
Yeah.
some weed here. Hold on.
Everybody must get stoned.
Great fucking song.
Classic.
So yeah, if you're not stoned out there, now's your time. You know, pack up what you got. Join us. And
You got him.
but yeah. So, Alabrije, dude, your zine that you're putting out is this like it is so punk rock. It gives me a punk rock boner. I'm not gonna lie. Like it takes me back to my high school days where like my buddies were all in bands and they were like, you know, making these crazy zines, putting them out, and like all the local music scene and stuff. Like the DIY nature of your whole, like everything you do, from the packaging to the ceramics, you know, like when I got my Drowsy Lobaka, you know, you include like this
So pretty.
handmade plant tag that's like fired in a kiln, glazed, man. Like this is fucking craftsmanship right here. Like I just love it. It's not that often these days in 2024 that like I see something that's like truly punk rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Like for real.
it was very much inspired by those old school zines. There's a store here that sells like old used comic books and has like a crazy collection of those from all sorts of political writing to poetry to music ones and yeah, all that was the like unique thing is that they're all very handmade, technically like kind of low quality and cheap materials, and it's just about like expressing yourself to the
Yes.
community. It's just 100% about I'm just trying to get this out there. It doesn't matter if it's in like a fancy magazine or whatever. It's just this is what I can do on a regular basis and try and put out the content. And it was also inspired by like I'm just sort of getting over Instagram and they definitely against our community and hold us back in ways. And even down to the photography, I notice all my photos are definitely compromised as far as quality goes. By the time it actually uploads, they're all like significantly fuzzier. And as far as like, I just need to take this into my own hands and be able to share content on my own platform. And I've slowly been building this email list for the last few years, and it just seemed like a better way to go.
It is. I mean, 100%. You get the whole, you get to the vibes are just awesome in the whole thing. Like it's, from interviews with people who've grown your strains to like your the one thing I enjoyed a lot was your like Malta smoke report. Like you're on vacation trying to
awesome.
like get around and get high. Like it's just it takes you to a place, and it's just really great entertainment, man. Like I just want to thank you for doing that. It's super cool.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to check it out. It's a lot of fun for me. I have a diverse background as far as my career history goes, and cooking, as I just mentioned, and food and beverage development and recipe development was a big part of that. So it's fun for me to like have a reason to like create an edible or put out a recipe. And I've been trying to share some, gardening tips and how I make kashi and recycle my soil and things like that. But yeah, it's just like a good.
Awesome.
Sometimes it kind of just helps force me to do these little projects because like, oh, I need to like get this done and get some pictures of it for the zine. So it kicks my butt a little bit to go out and haul 50 tubs of soil and get them all mixed up.
Yeah, man. You got zine fans. You don't want to disappoint the punk rock community.
The pressure, the
Yeah,
zine pressure.
that's
That
right.
zine pressure,
But
yeah.
like, so, and one of the, obviously, if you've listened to the show, you've heard us talk about kind of our whole tent pirate thing, and
Definitely.
what it means to everyone is it's kind of like an individual thing. Like people kind of can interpret it how they like, but it really is what it means to me is kind of like I'm gonna do this one way or another. You know what I mean? Like this is something that like no matter the laws, no matter the scheduling of the substance we're speaking of, like pirates don't ask for permission. They just
No.
fucking go and pirate for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? Like it's in their blood.
Well, yeah, it's more of like your laws are stupid. I'm gonna go do this other thing. You don't need
Definitely.
to know about it. It's cool.
So
You go do you, and I'll go do me, and never the twain shall meet.
exactly, and I would say three of the four of us are in prohibition land as we speak. Correct.
Yep.
So that's
Fucking
no,
crazy. It's just crazy to me.
isn't that
It makes
nuts?
me fucking mad, really.
It does.
So dumb.
It's just fucking ridiculous. I mean,
Isn't that nuts?
For
And,
what reason, really? Like, it's so stupid.
But I'm with you. It's 100% where we're gonna do it no matter what. We're gonna be as precautious as we need to be, but yeah, they're not going to stop us. We're the ones who are going to be, when big pharma takes over the cannabis world. We're going to be the ones who still have some genetics
That's right.
preserved from the old days and growing the good stuff.
That's right. That's right. Like, you know, I'm sorry, but it's like, you know, we're not here to listen to the whatever laws are placed upon our community. Like, I didn't wait for permission to start doing this. It's just like I needed to do it, and I'm not. That doesn't make anyone who's like, you know, waited for it to be legal in their area to start doing this hobby. Like, I'm not saying you're any less of a grower, though you might be a little bit less punk rock. That's okay though. Not everyone
They
needs,
might be punk rock in
needs
other
to be
ways.
punk rock. Yeah, true,
It's
true.
you, Howling.
No, I know, but it's so like it's a little bit of a different thing with people like us who just do it because we have to do it. It's not about monetization. It's not about like, you know, the corporate sponsorships and all the like, oh, now suddenly it's legal, we can make all the videos and gussy them up as much as we want. Like, no, this is a DIY project. I don't know, man. I really vibe with the whole brand that you put out and
I appreciate
the
that. I
tent
mean,
pirate lifestyle, man.
it's something I feel super strongly about too, because I've been a user for the last 20 years, give or take. And yeah, I've yet to live in an area. I've floated all over, but have never lived in an area where it's legal. And I've always known, getting it from a random source, not knowing or trusting a name. I guarantee you, so much of the time I was probably smoking moldy bud, or I'm sure there was all sorts of crap in there and pesticides and whatnot over the years. And it's just been so inconsistent until I started growing my own. And now I finally feel like I'm on the right track. I'm smoking healthy, good quality. It's simply for me and my medicine. Maybe I share it with a couple friends, but it doesn't go beyond that. And, it doesn't need to. We can have small communities grow for each other. And yeah, everyone who enjoys using it doesn't need to all necessarily be a grower. It's really easy to build up a pretty big supply after a
Right.
run, and easy to share. And yeah, we don't need big pharma to take over. We don't need their medication. The reason it's always been so harsh on marijuana laws is simply for that. Is because it would put them out of business.
100%,
Right on,
man.
dude.
Money,
Right
money,
on. So,
money,
do you
money.
have like being a breeder in, you know, in prohibition land? Do you have like I mean, secret any special tips for any of our fellow tent pirates out there who are worried about, yeah, extra tents, extra plants? What do you do that's special to keep your nose clean?
Honestly, I probably am more lax than I should be at times. One
I
thing I
think I am
can't
too,
do, I can't
sadly.
even wear a Alabrija Genetics T-shirt to the grocery store for fear somebody might, Google what it is and put together two and two pretty quick.
Yeah, right.
But no, I just start by not telling anyone. No one but my close family knows. Um, very very close friends, but none locally. So that's not much of an issue. I Other than that, I just keep a low profile. I don't sell it to anyone. So in my mind, part of it's just that a mindset. I don't believe I'm doing anything wrong. I feel
Right.
100% morally okay about growing this plant and consuming it myself, and then not hurting anyone and just going about my day. Yeah, so I have no issues with it. So I think mindset is a big part of it. I'm not
Agreed.
afraid. And then being aware, having a backup plan in case an issue goes wrong. I have run into the law back in the day when I was in college. And I have gone over that moment a million times in my head since, and was like, what could I have done to, like, destroy the evidence quick enough if I had just done this one thing or something. So I would advise keeping a couple 5-gallon buckets handy and a couple gallons of bleach if you just need to quickly destroy some evidence and make it non-testable. They can find all the grow lights and grow tents they want, but if they can't test for any THC, that's the only thing that's illegal technically. So, um, might
Truth.
help when it comes to sentencing when they don't have a lab test, but it would be, obvious. But
Hey,
it's the little things.
if you're already,
It's hemp, I
if you've
swear.
already gotten to that point, I don't think we have much advice for you.
Be
You're kind of fucked.
I think being an upstanding citizen is important too. Like, you
Yes.
pay your taxes, do some charity and volunteer work, things like that. So if you ever do have the book thrown at you, that at least on paper, you're a good upstanding citizen, and it goes a long way. I ended up
Right
getting
on.
a slap on the wrist for a felony
Like,
charge.
I think that's the best advice, to be quite honest, man. Like, be the type of person who, if your neighbors heard, like, oh, that nice man down the street, like, was no knock rated for, like, having a personal grow in his attic, and they'd be like outraged by that because you're the nicest man in the world. You know what I mean? And they just
He
be that
shoveled
guy.
my walkway.
Yeah, really. Be that kind of person who would be like, I can't believe he would ever do such a thing, but like now that, like, know that knowing such a nice guy has a hobby that's seemingly like so innocuous that I never even knew about, makes me change my whole mind on the whole subject. Amazing.
Yeah, totally. All this is allegedly, by the way. I don't do any
Of
of
course,
these
yeah,
things.
dude. We would never
Allegedly.
break any laws in real life. This is all just a
This is
skit we're
It's
doing.
a story.
purely hypothetical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is just live actions role play. You're right.
These are just characters.
Amen to that.
Figments of your imagination.
In Minecraft. So I want to talk some of your genetics, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't get over how good they are. Every plant I've grown has just been like shoots out of its shell and grows like perfect. And like I said, I've grown a lot of them.
Well,
What
appreciate
what are
that.
you doing, man, selection wise?
Yes. How the hell do you choose?
That's
What's
a
your
great
special
question.
sauce?
That's a great question.
That is a great question. One thing, I mean, I'm making fem seeds most of the time. So one thing has come down to just giving myself multiple options of reversal. Usually when I start, depending on the project, when I start a reversal, I'm going to start at least 5 or 6, up to 10, depending on how big the population is going to run. But I start them really early for autoflowers. I start spraying at like day 15, and I haven't seen a lot of traits up to that point except for vigor. Um, so as far as like vigor and basic structure, and
Makes sense.
yeah. So one of the things I'm looking early on is just speed and vigor, which to me is like one of the primary advantages of autoflowers versus photoperiods in the first place.
Sure.
If it wasn't for just trying to find something that goes really quickly in the veg stage, then you might as well just grow a photo. Um, anyway, so yeah,
Agree.
by the time those handful of reversals are at a point where they're making pollen sacs and are even further beyond where they're ready to actually drop pollen, you've gotten a lot more clues as to what your best option is going to be. And again, a lot of what I'm going for is at that point is size, structure, the initial vigor. I'll throw in a stem rub just to try to gauge potency of aroma. Not necessarily that it's going to give a clue exactly what it's going to smell like, but some smell stronger than others. And I think that's just in the, it does tend to shine through. It's not a guarantee. But if you get a nice, strong smelling, spicy stem rub, chances are you're going to get a nice terpy plant too.
Good point.
So that's on the reversal side. On the mother side, it's just trying to give yourself, again, a big enough population to find the best one. And sometimes it comes of just a random one or two that you had popped. But I tend to try to, in ongoing line breeding projects, I'm popping 12 to 20, I would say, if I'm just carrying on another autoflower generation. But running a photo to auto conversion, it can be up to, this last run I did 65 plants. The first wave was of 30, and the second wave was 35. About 10 days behind it. And I was just
Wow.
looking. Yeah, I was
That's a
looking for.
lot.
Yeah, and this was in a relatively small space. So as soon as I found, this was in the F2 generation of this rainbow guava Tangy Tibuguana project, and so I was looking for the auto trait. And so as soon as I found the first few, under 24 hours of light, I immediately started reversing those. I found a couple more trickle in a few days later, and then at that point, I trashed the rest of that first wave of 30. I gifted a few.
Damn.
They were photos, but most just went in the trash. I mean, it's just part of the nature of it. I don't have the space to accommodate them all.
Yeah, shit. So when you do a run that big, like in a small space, I mean, what size pots are you using?
Those were in solo cups.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So as soon as they showed a pistol, I transplanted into 1 gallons, and
Cool.
those for those reversals, and then I did 1.5 gallons for the second wave. Those I had in little, what do you call them? The little, they're little mesh bags where the roots just easily grow through if you just
Oh,
transplant
like
the whole bag.
the nursery
The
bag.
nursery bags, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, that was on the second wave, and I ended up finding another like 5 more on the second wave, and then all the rest in the solo cups or in the other nursery bags just got trashed. That's it was just space purposes, and then so I ended up with, I only kept one of the reversal, and then I had 6 moms to carry seed.
So it's about like you're saying, backups,
Backups, and
just in case it doesn't
of
work
the
out the way you
yeah,
think.
of those 6 moms, one smelled very much like the rainbow guava number 5 cut I initially started with. So that will be the one I work forward. Those are the F3 seeds that it contains. So I'm going to work it forward and look for those traits again to make an F4 generation. And hopefully, if I find you know, the reversal and another good mom that carries those same terps and the same kind of resin qualities I'm after, hopefully by the F4 it'll be somewhat stable and most of the population it'll show. But
Man, and that's for those who might not be in the know. That's a brand new photo to auto project that's using that cut from Mr. Autogrow, right? Who
shout out Mr. Autogrow,
yeah,
yeah.
he's been making the rounds with that live rosin he makes from this cut. Yeah, I mean, it's been on like the Terpene Therapy podcast, and he's gotten it in the hands of some like really some hash aficionados out there, and it's making waves.
the
So
the goal wasn't necessarily to like replicate it exactly. That's really difficult to do
oh, for sure,
in seed form. You're never gonna, like, even if you ran all of
yeah,
its brothers and sisters that he initially ran, you're not gonna find that number 5 again. So to carry it over in autoflower seed form, it's not going to be an exact thing, but the goal was to just get as high a wash numbers as I could. It's
amen.
just meant to be for concentrates. It'll make some good flour, but it's got nice loose structure and big trichome heads with weak necks, and they don't bust right when you press them. So it's got all the little traits I'm looking for, and yeah, just hope to make something that can move fast and dump.
Nice.
Right on.
Yeah.
So why don't we talk a little about that? Like, not everyone has access to professional hash making equipment. However, you don't need that to make
No,
like
dude.
really, really good hash. You don't need much of an investment at all.
I
In
linked
fact.
I linked some bags in the Discord. You want all nylon mesh bags. You don't want the ones with vinyl on them because you're not going to get the best product that way. I'm not going to sit here and explain it to you, but it's pretty simple. All right, that's like $50 tops, and you can get more or less bags depending on what type of hash you're looking to make. You don't need all 7 bags, but a 5-gallon bucket and some ice and then something to stir it with, and lay it out to dry, microplane it, and you're good to go. You don't need a $3,000 freeze dryer. I don't
No.
own a $3,000 freeze dryer. Okay, I like to take said bubble hash and then press it for myself for personal smoke. You can choose what you want to do with it. You have different grades of bubble hash. You can smoke it. You can cook with it. Give it away. I mean, some real good 73 is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
Like
that's
full.
the micron you prefer.
No, it can vary depending on strain, but a lot of times, most of the time, 73 is really good, and if you do it right, it can be full melt. Good shit.
So real quick, hold on, I'm gonna bring it up. I really like the press club for my pressing needs, or warshin,
Yeah, that's
as
too
they
much
say
money.
around
You
here.
can-
Yeah, you think
that's-
so? But
Wait,
these are super high quality. ones,
No,
of course.
I'm gonna now the bubble man bags are probably just as good, if not better, for like $50.
Okay, we can shout them out. Bubble
And
Man.
those are the industry standard, the bubble man bags.
Of course, this is like the 8-pack of all the bags, which you certainly don't need.
I was gonna
Those
say
are-
I typically just use 2 or 3 bags because I'm not making huge quantities, and if you divide it by 8 different microns, certain ones I'm just pulling such a small amount, I end up combining it with another anyway. I ended up just losing some in the.
Shout out to the
in
press club
mesh.
though. I mean, they make the best bags. Period. Don't if you press it
I need
all.
to get
I just quality wise, I think you can never go wrong with their stuff.
I'm talking about their what do you call it? The fucking pouch
Oh,
you
yeah,
put your shit in. The
Yeah,
press bag. I'm looking stoned right now.
the mesh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It doesn't
Mesh
bust
bags
open.
for actually pressing.
for like
yeah.
pressing rosin. Oh, okay.
Now,
And their parchment paper's fire too.
Oh yeah, yep. Do you think the 4-pack for 150 still too much?
Yeah. I mean, unless these like
Unless
they
you're
just-
doing it like
No,
often,
I mean,
and you're worried
honestly,
about
all right.
quality.
Before
sure.
I go ahead and say that, I'd have to really look and see if they're really like thicker than the Bubbleman bags, because I've had my Bubbleman bags for like
Yeah, I don't know.
ever, and they haven't given me any problems at all.
Word. Well, point being, you don't need much of an investment. Even half or fraction of the price we were just talking about was sufficient to get like
Shit,
literally
even the
full melt
250,
hash.
even the 250, there's still not a lot of money to get some fucking quality shit.
No, sir. And you can work with just like 5-gallon buckets and ice. You get
It
it.
is labor intensive. But it's
Absolutely.
easy.
It's definitely a good winter activity, especially if you're making some fresh frozen, little bit of live bubble hash. It's a lot of fun.
Cool. Well, do you think that 4th gen will be out by winter time?
Probably
Captain
not.
Bravo's
No,
hands.
no. Next year.
Yeah.
I know these things take a long time, brother, man. It's an art.
And,
It's
and
not
yeah,
ready till it's ready.
and once I get it ready, Mr. Autogrow is a much better hash maker than I. So I'll definitely, before it ever gets released, it'll get sent back to him, and he's gonna run it and wash it and
Cool.
show off the kind of rosin it can make and tease you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a tease, man. Shit, but yeah, so that's super cool. That I love anything photo to auto, of course. It's just new genetics in the autoflower gene pool.
Yeah, and as I make the F4s this fall, I'm gonna hit a lot of my other classics in the stable and maybe some other fun things from other breeders to just make some fun new F1s and things along the way.
Hell yeah.
It's cool
There-
to see like the
Awesome.
community too, like fucking doing shit together. Uh, I, I can't wait to see what happens with the results as far as
Yeah,
how it
right.
washes.
Yeah, right. More of our two more of our former guests getting together outside of the show hours and making babies.
And both in prohibition areas, and still just doing our
I love
things.
it, man. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, absolutely. Like if there were ever a punk rock hash maker, it's Mr. Autogrow. That's
Most
for damn
definitely.
sure. So shout out to him. But
It's great.
let's get back on the autoflower thing. The photos are cool and all, but I don't know. I always go back and forth. When I'm smoking an
Yeah.
autoflower like this, I'm telling you, man, you can't beat 84 days getting a half pound of like bud that would make anyone's heads turn. Don't matter. They don't know if it's an autoflower. They just ask me, what the fuck is this? You
Yeah.
cannot beat that
Beautiful.
that speed, that turnaround time. Like you just can't. So gotta
I mean,
maybe give.
I was gonna say that's just one of my goals is for it to be something that you don't differentiate. You're not, oh, that's an autoflower, oh, that's a photo period. I think we're getting there. Again, we're still a ways away where
Oh,
it's
all
completely
right.
equal, but
Aside, real quick, we got a David. I've never seen you in the chat before. We answered your question at the beginning of the show, which is why are all of you douchebags wearing
Oh, that's so
sunglasses?
mean. Who
Yeah,
hurt
first
you,
of all,
David?
I don't identify as a douchebag. Okay?
I told him his mom gave him those.
The reason we wear sunglasses is because we're out here in prohibition land, sir, representing the tent pirates, the repressed growers who don't want their identities necessarily being seen. Yeah, exactly. Good point, Nicholas. Says the man wearing the sunglasses in his profile picture. Dude, just get out of here, man. Go away. Nobody wants you here.
I mean,
Nobody.
you're welcome to stay if you'll be nice.
No, get out. You're banned for life.
Beat it.
Beat it. But yeah, I'm sorry. What a rude interruption from someone we never even heard of before.
What the fuck you gonna do?
Nothing. You ain't gonna do anything, David. But yeah, we're talking autos. We love our autoflowers here, of course. Let's talk about growing them a little bit. Well, what have you stumbled upon any new like wisdom about the autoflower in popping so many of them and yeah.
Yeah, that's
Are
a
you
lot
muted?
of like
Oh, he's
condensed
muted. Fuck.
experience into a short time.
I'm sorry, my bad. Yeah,
No worries. I saw your mouth moving, but I couldn't hear anything.
I said, yeah, I've got my routine down to kind of a science these days. I'm still tweaking with my nutrients. I just have my own little blend I'm making, so but I run it through the whole cycle, so I can't really tweak the recipe until the next run. But I'm an organics guy. I'm just running in soil. I've been reusing the same potting soil now for the last like year and a half. I'd probably been building up that quantity for about a year or two, so probably almost 2.5 years, some of it. But I just started really recycling it like a year and a half ago, and I just make my own bokashi and mix it up, throw it in tubs for a few months, And then one of my words of wisdom is autoflowers love super fluffy potting soil. And this is just something I sort of stole from the cocoa world, and just seeing kind of how when they're in that super light, fluffy, oxygen rich medium that they just expand. That's the one risky thing people seem to think with autoflowers is stunting them and getting a stubby little plant. So if you don't want to get a stubby plant, do a nice fluffy, loose potting soil or cocoa is going to be your best bet. But so I take my recycled soil and I'll mix about like a third or so back of peat moss, and it's super spongy. And then I make my own. I also add insect frass and worm castings to that, just for a general base potting soil. And then I make this mix. It was loosely inspired. For many years, I ran with Nature's Living Soil, their autoflower mix. Got great results. I highly recommend. But I'm a DIY guy, and I just really wanted to make my own from scratch and
Yeah.
just buy my own base ingredients. Theirs was also like super stinky, and I don't use any like bat or seabird guano in mine. So mine is like significantly less smelly, which is a pro. But it's just got it has more worm casting and
Cool.
insect grass, langbonite, rock phosphate,
Nice. Yeah,
crustacean
you
meal, all sorts of stuff.
can do it without that. Yes, that bird poop, man. If you ever get like just regular chicken manure for your garden, it's like, oh, it's the worst.
Every year.
Yeah,
Worst stuff.
It's fucking good shit though. No pun intended.
it is.
Yeah, we like a little stink, but not a whole lot when you're,
It is.
especially when you're
It's
indoors.
putrid. It's putrid. Yeah.
I had chickens. I used it in my like vegetable garden, but not indoors. Yeah, I don't want to bring that stuff inside.
Well, so you mentioned, like, I mean, a great tip, I think, that often gets overlooked, which is the fluffiness of your medium. Like, not most, let's say we get people using soil, we get people using bagged potting soil from the store that they got, you're new, you went out, you got your happy frog. Maybe you watched the Captain video on YouTube. You got your Costa Maine, Stonington blend, or your Coco Loco, or your Ocean Forest. Some brand name potting soil you found at the store. Sometimes that shit can come waterlogged too. You got to be careful, like it's way too moist. You always want like a nice even moisture level, not too much, not too little, and you, most importantly, like you said, don't want to like stuff your pot with the soil. It needs to just like rest in there. You can maybe like, you know, bang the bottom of the bag a little bit on
That's
the
the
ground.
perfect method, really, honestly. People
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
overpack them.
Right, because you
temp
don't want to
it.
lose too much volume when you water either. If it's super fluffy and there's so much air in there, as soon as you put water on top of that, it's going to compress into nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then your pot's going to be half empty.
Yes.
Y-
What'd you
yeah,
say? You tap it. You tap it.
Yep,
I
tap.
call that a tamp,
A little
like you're
tap.
making espresso. You like you press it in
Oh,
there,
I
so
was
you
gonna
know
say
it's
like you're
firm,
at the
but
urinal at the stadium. You got to get out quick. You just tap tap tap, zip up, and you're out.
little shake and move. Yeah.
Water's usually really cold in those places.
But
No, I give it a good, press down, because I've definitely experienced what G3 just
yeah,
talked
yeah, yeah.
about. But at the same time, yeah, it's just a matter of having like those spongy materials in there that it'll still hold a pretty fair amount of air pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. So we got Kenny. Mr. Kenny says in the chat he got his last bag of Happy Frog was like 50 pounds. It was soaked.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, I've gotten that too.
Mm-hmm.
I've absolutely gotten that. I've gotten bags of soil that smell really bad too. They're waterlogged and they've gotten like
Some sort of anaerobic. thing, too.
anaerobic. Yeah,
Mhm.
they've gone
Yeah.
anaerobic, and there's just a sulfur kind of smell coming from the whole batch of soil. It's okay. It's okay. Just like put it in a tub, put it
Yeah.
outside in the sun, let
Let
it
it
dry out,
breathe.
mix it up.
Let it breathe a bit.
Yeah, it'll be fine. You just gotta like get rid of that bad stuff, reintroduce the moisture. Yeah, it'll be cool. But like, yeah, don't overstuff your pots, guys. I feel like that's a common beginner mistake. It's got to be.
The more effort that root has to put forth to travel through the soil, the less it has to expand on making other roots and doing other things to make the plant bigger. So the easier you make life for your plant, the bigger it's going to get.
Especially for an autoflower in the first 2 weeks that we're talking about, where that taproot and it's going to be shooting out, and yeah, the easier you make it for them, the bigger the plant you're going to get, probably.
100%. And I even go through like my medium with my hands, you know what I mean? And I'm breaking up any clumps.
Oh yeah.
I'm taking out any big particles. I've even seen people do it like on a screen, almost like you're making hash,
Yeah,
but
I've seen
Yeah.
that
you got
before.
soil on it, just to take out the big stuff and let the finer particles through. And that's really the stuff you want to work with. I don't like big chunks of bark,
Yeah.
anything like that, like rocks, anything like. Some people just say like, yeah, it'll make the taproot a little tougher, a little tough love.
Yeah, I don't believe in fucking with that taproot too early on, especially. It's not a
Yeah.
good thing.
We
I
don't
I,
need
I toss
tough love
out
for
any
our
big.
taproots. We don't. We got to baby our taproots,
Yes.
in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely toss out any big chunks I find in my soil along the way. So if you do recycle yours, you'll eventually get to where you have a pretty nice smooth medium, and that bokashi really will just eat through any organic root material, over the course of a few months. And yeah, so that's some of my first keys to get a really nice, like, even smooth soil. On the flip side, I used to buy some Pro Mix, and I thought Pro Mix was kind of always a pretty good, even keeled soil like that with a lot of spongy qualities.
Mm-hmm.
So, um,
That
yeah,
nice peat.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Definitely a good quality peat.
Yeah, the premix.
I used ProMix for a while. It's convenient, that's for sure. The compressed bales, you just fucking, you know, it's always there. And they say it
yeah.
has a little Michael Rizzo in there, but they don't tell you how much, you know.
Well, so I also use Dynamico in mine.
Hell yeah.
That's another little key tip I would say. Definitely try it. It works awesome. You literally see it working on the top of your soil. You'll see a white fuzz, and the way I'm doing with organics and top dressing and things, I actually mix Dynamico into my little top dress mix as well. So every time
Oh,
I am top
nice.
dressing, it's kind of, you're getting another layer of white fuzz right on top, and you're breaking all those things down. And it's still like a slow release kind of deal, but yeah, works great.
Yeah, listen, they don't sponsor this show at all. I don't have a fucking coupon code for you. But I'm going to tell
Yeah.
you right now, if you're not using Dino Myco, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a great product. That, along with the Photo Plus, is all you'll ever fucking need. I like the Dino
Word.
for transplants. I
What is
use it
it?
every time.
DYNO?
Yep, Dino
Yep.
Yeah.
Myco.
Like dynamite.
Yeah.
That
And
thing
and
actually comes in something that looks like a TNT
Yeah,
container.
the
but
way
don't buy that one. Because you're paying for that stick, that fancy stick. Just buy the bag. The
and the
stick
way
is
it
fucking
works,
cool as fuck, though.
yeah, it is cool. The way it works, you don't actually have to use very much per plant, because if
No.
you just stick a little bit under where you're gonna end up putting the taproot or the germinated seed, as the roots grow, those mycorrhizae grow with it, and they feed off of that root system. So it's a culture. It grows. You don't have to add so much. So a little bit
Plus,
goes a long way. I don't use the quantity they recommend.
yeah, plus it's granular, so it's not as messy. I
Yeah,
love I love this shit, and my plants love it too.
So
Nope, use it
direct
all the
me
time.
to the stuff you're using. Is it this
Right.
3-in-1 mycorrhizal inoculant?
Yeah. Well,
The
I can't see. I
premium
can't see the screen. Yep, that one right there.
mycorrhizal?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
just.
The
that
one that
one.
looks like
Yep.
Yep.
dynamite?
Yeah, I get the little black pouches.
Oh,
Yeah,
yep,
what?
yep.
It looks like a huge M80.
Yeah,
It's fucking
that's
cool.
their retail packaging. It's pretty fucking cool, but I
Yeah,
don't
it's
recommend
sweet.
buying that one because you're paying just for that packaging.
Yeah, they just
Buy
come
the
in regular
pouch.
black
But
bags.
I want that one.
Well, then buy it, Cap.
It looks like
It
it looks like a stick of dynamite. I think.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. It's
yeah,
good marketing.
it definitely great
All
marketing.
right, all right, all right. That cool. It's cheap. Treats at 20 plants. Shoot,
A
you
little
just
goes a long
Word.
That's
way.
right.
Like it
I'm saying
That's
like
lasts.
that 20 plants is more like 50 plants. You can probably
wow.
fit, you know.
Yeah, because I only really use this stuff like at the beginning of life.
Yeah,
Like I
that's
only
it.
like I put it under the seed, or I like when I transplant, I sprinkle it in the hole before the
Yep.
plant goes in.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
it's you do it once and you kind of it's there. It grows with the plant. So all right, cool.
Yeah, so spongy soil, Dynamica, you're off to a great start already.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't want to turn this into a Dino Michael infomercial, but I feel like they're slept on.
I
Honestly.
gotta bring up the products we're talking about.
I'm not
To be
sponsored
fair.
by them either. I pay full price for that product. I love it.
Yep, same.
I want people to know what we use and where they can get it. We don't have a code for you. It ain't about that.
Well, you could get it at Mass Hydro. Use code CC10.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
there you
go.
go.
A little workaround.
Boom.
Love it. Love it, man. All right. So Alabrije,
Yeah.
autoflower wise, what's coming down the pike from you? Like, what can
Thank you.
expect?
So a few things coming up. The most immediate would be our Tangy Tibuguana 2.0 drop, which is it's 2 years after the first time I was here on the show. We were hyping up the first drop. We had the big grow along, thanks to you guys. Shout out to Rev and Johnny kicking that off after watching the Cultivation conversation episode. And so
Yeah, that was
here we are.
fun.
Finally, the next generation, the F3s are coming out. And
Hell yeah.
also in the pack is going to be a reverse back cross to the Amnesia Haze auto parent. There's also one called Tangy Mixta that's a CBD mixed ratio with vitamins from 2020.
Ooh,
And-
that's exciting. We need more
I want
CBDs, man.
that.
And then the freebie is going to be a fast photo. It's an F1 of Tangy and papaya melons from Bloom Seed Company.
Cool.
And yeah, so there's a lot of, but there's a lot of tangy phenos to find. So the idea is that you can find a tangy photo period and hang on to it and take cuttings. And if it's your jam, then you got. I know our community.
Love
There's
that.
there's a lot of people that like to grow both. So
I love that, man. I got my first batch of clones, like ever.
nice.
I took clones from some photos. I'm keeping them. It did the whole thing. It did it as low budget as possible, like nothing but saliva and water in a mason jar.
nice. Got roots.
Saliva?
Got roots. Yeah,
Interesting.
man.
Spitting on your plants, dude.
I heard it was like you want to like
Quantum
suck on it
entanglement.
a little bit, like to like get that.
Bacteria is in your
You suck on that cut to get that like that bubble out. That air pocket. You don't want that air pocket. And the saliva actually is probably like a good thing to be quite honest with you. I mean, how could it not be?
I feel like there's a lot of bacteria.
There's bacteria everywhere. It's just I'm giving them a kiss to start their next
Hey,
stage in life.
I wouldn't necessarily give that a shot, but it worked for 'em. Fucking,
I mean, you do you, boo.
My point. Listen, the point of the experiment was if I could get roots on like 6 of 6 cuttings doing this ridiculous cloning method, then like again, like you don't need to spend a lot of money to do any of this
No,
stuff. Like you don't
not at
need
all.
a arrow cloner, like really any of it. It's
Sucking
very
on
easy.
plants is free.
Yeah, just suck on them and put them in a mason jar full of some water.
Oh
Boom.
yeah.
But
What more do you need?
so we're talking. You got your tangy like photo.
But
That's badass.
yeah,
I
so
love
like
that idea.
there's 24 seeds in the pack amongst the 4 varieties. So it's a big fatty pack.
Whoa.
The forerunner is the F3 generation of Tangy, which is a long time coming. I remember we talked about on the first episode if I would ever re-release something again, and my answer was maybe, we'll see.
It's
And
funny you say that because that was in the back of my mind. I was going to ask you that.
it was you. You were the one who asked it originally, and I thought about it. I went, well, it's a community favorite, and everyone talks highly of it, and so give the people what they want. And I wanted it again. I wanted to keep working with it, and so yeah, she
Special.
came back around for another generation.
That's pretty cool, man.
We're so glad she did.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely.
So after that, we're in September. We're doing a little pop-up party in LA. It's going to be our second anniversary of doing Alebrije, and we're doing a little. Last year, we went to Virginia and we did a little East Coast pop-up down at Homegrown Virginia, and that was a lot of fun. And we met a wide range of home growers from all the way down from Florida all the way up to Connecticut, and almost every state in between, missing 2 or 3. And it was just really cool to connect with all these guys. So we decided we wanted to do a little West Coast version this year. So we're going out to LA, and we're going to drop this West Coast Tucadillo that I've been puffing on. It's got the marathon OG in there. So it's an LA classic, I guess. And yeah, we just wanted to go meet some of our West Coast friends and have a good time, celebrate.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool. I have to believe there will be a frog involved in that shindig.
there will be a frog involved, I believe. Yeah,
Maybe even a Charles Budkowski, too. Hopefully he
yeah,
can make it down.
I hope so too. Well, now's the time to announce Charles Budkowski actually did the art for the Tucadillo. It's a toucan armadillo.
That's
And
so
so
cool.
I wanted a
No
California.
way.
I wanted a California artist, and actually went to the frog himself and asked for recommendations, and he was just like, "Oh, Chuck's got you."
Shout out
That's
to Charles
amazing.
Badkowski. He's one of the
Congrats, Chuck.
first Discord members in the community. I remember breaking his balls very early on, and he took it like a champ. Shout out to Charles Badkowski.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
we love him.
Just another way we really like to connect within the community, and anytime it's a grower that I can get to do the art, I'm always trying to find a different artist for each one, and sometimes we cycle back, but in general it's a different artist each time. And so but it's really cool when it's connected to the community, and especially one like Charles Budkowski, who's right in the heart of the community. And yeah, very cool.
Fuck that frog
That's
though, Rev.
wonderful.
No, that's again like the DIY nature of your whole brand. I think it really resonates with this community in particular. There's a lot of people, like myself, who just appreciate that kind of thing, and you can tell right away, like when something's got a handmade touch to it.
Yeah, I mean, we Alebrije is an art expression in Mexico, and we always wanted art to be a big part of the brand, and yeah, doing things like the ceramics and the ceramic plant markers and things like that. Shout out to Nama Potter who makes those for us. Yeah, it just, each one is individual and handmade, and it goes same with our seeds. Everything goes back, it's hand shucked. It's just my wife and I, we put the seeds in each file. She was waxing them today for the Tangy drop, while I was stamping the boxes. Each box has 5 little stamps, so it takes a few weeks. And started doing like spray paint graffiti on our outer shell boxes. So I did those a couple
That's
weeks
cool,
back.
man.
And yeah, there's just a lot of little stages, and everything is very handmade, so it can just
Here,
have that kind of
I can show those off actually.
individual touch. Oh yeah, nice.
So cool. Look at that.
Again, that DIY touch, you know, you just you don't find it everywhere, and it's awesome when you get it.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I mean, I had fun making those. So it again goes back to me just wanting to express myself, but it comes out in the form of a fun
yeah,
a little
and there's
package.
always stickers, you know, the like not to mention the pins, right? We got the pins.
Oh,
I got
nice.
mine
Yeah.
here, my Tangy. I got my what's this one?
Oh, that's your drowsy
The
Labaka.
drowsy. Yeah, that's a new one, which
Nice.
matches my shirt. My wife pointed out. Like,
And it's
Ooh.
the
right,
Alabrije
it's
colors. I like it.
interesting. And then this one over here. Sorry, other side is the. Can you see it now?
Oh yeah, the Days Sabrana,
Yes, sir.
or
Yes,
zebra
sir.
frog. So yeah, it's just a way to have fun. We're just all about having fun, and you know, when good weed and medicine comes along with it, it's just a bonus. But yeah, fun and art and
Yeah.
weed.
And then, of course,
Mm-hmm.
helping the dogs, saving the perros, an
Yes.
important part of the mission.
Also on the agenda. So September we're going to be out in California. Then November for Thanksgiving we're going down to Mexico City to do our next Save the Perros mission. That's
Nice, dude.
we just go down once per year. So I mean I wish we could do more at this point, but
Dude, come on. You do
I mean,
just
you
that
do a
alone is
ton.
a fucking awesome thing.
That's, you know, again, like one of my favorite parts is watching the thing come to fruition and like seeing the dogs get their food, and it makes me tear up a little bit.
yeah, it's
But
heartbreaking for sure.
you know, you just it's makes you feel good though. Makes you feel like I always make sure I donate when I grab some Alabrijes. It's and,
Well,
you know, even though you got to check out fast. So what you got to do is get the seeds, check out, and then go back and do the Save the Perros donation.
yeah,
That's a pro
don't risk.
tip right there.
Yeah, that is a pro tip. So yeah, just to know, I don't have control of that, but it happens every drop that people get cart robbed, and so yeah, until you actually check out and complete your purchase, your cart is not safe, and yeah, I get angry emails every drop.
Oh, it's
Oh man,
heartbreaking from
I
every
know.
side.
It comes. I expect them at this point, but
I know.
yeah,
It's like
I got to do a better job making it known. So that's why I figured I'd mention it here. Your carts are not safe until you complete checkout.
no, you
Danger,
gotta be fast.
danger.
You gotta be fast. When can like do you have a drop coming?
Yeah, so the Tangy 2.0 is on August 4th at
Oh fuck yeah.
4:20 p.m. Eastern time, coming up in like 2.5 weeks or so.
And that will include the Tangy F3.
Tangy F3, Tangy RBX, Tangy
Mm-hmm.
Mixta, and Tangy Photo. It's,
Mm-hmm.
it's spelled
The
FAUXTOE, like a fake
Oh,
toe.
that's pretty fucking
I
cool.
know.
That's fun.
I
Yeah,
love the wordplay.
Clever.
yeah,
Like a fake toe, photo.
yeah.
Tiny
Your photo.
extravaganza.
You're so clever.
Maybe
yeah,
spit
man.
on my seltzer.
August 4th at 4:20. I'm setting my goddamn phone alarm right now. Because again, like
Make sure you set
this
up
will
for
sell
before
out.
420.
This will sell out. You got
Tiny
like you
photo.
just gotta be there. You have to get in. You gotta wait in line. Again, it's that kind of like punk rock nature of the whole thing. You camp out in line to get the concert tickets. When they go on sale at Sears, at Ticketmaster office at 10 a.m. There was no online when this whole, you know what I mean? Like
The
you
good
got to
old
do
days.
it yourself.
Indeed. I mean, my my first days buying autoflowers were in the Mephisto and Night Owl and Rockbud days where their drops were just gone in seconds, and I myself got cart robbed and loved it. It was an adrenaline rush, and scramble. What am I gonna? Okay, what strain am I gonna get? I had researched that one. I wanted that one, but gonna flip and get something else. But yeah, it was just fun, and we may grow in time a little bit, but I don't really ever see us growing too much. I think we like kind of just doing it low key, drop style. I'm not a big fan of going through the seed banks. I like just doing it on my own. And so yeah, we'll probably always stay a little small guy, but we'll have fun with it.
Super
Yeah.
craft.
Super punk rock. Super craft. Like again, John says the last drop sold out in 3 minutes. That drowsy Labaca, right? I think
It was like 6, but yeah,
like the wind, man.
They went quick.
Well worth it. She's gorgeous.
But like again, there's a certain, when it becomes too big, you lose a certain element. Like every seed is packed by like you and your wife. It's just like, I don't know,
Such immaculate vibes.
Yeah.
Touching every seed too.
So
With gloves. Yeah.
Well, but yeah,
Yeah,
but
you don't-
like,
you don't,
that's
like-
a lot.
you don't,
That's
like,
a
put 'em
lot
in your
of
mouth
love
before
and
you-
care and
I-
consideration.
you don't
Like
suck
these are
on 'em
your
a little
babies.
and then spit
This
them
is
out.
the fruit of all of your work. Like
Totally.
yeah, don't put them in your mouth. Ugh.
Yeah. Now, I used to think about like I wanted to grow and be in the various seed banks, and no, we put so much time and effort into these packages, y'all. It's crazy that it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't meet our style to go through other retailers and whatnot. We just want to be a small craft art project and just do it for fun.
Cool.
Yeah, so we're having a good time, and
set your alarms.
we're also in a position, being somewhat of an outlaw. We're not in a position where we could hire anyone anyway or expand, or we're never going to have other people coming and stamping our boxes because
There you go. It's kind of,
it's got to stay secret.
that's the real secret, is like it's the necessity of the whole thing. That's like the true, like the great punk artists, like they all, like the great albums just came about by like poverty, like depression, bad relationships, drug abuse. You had to go through it to make the true art. So it's kind of like it speaks to the whole thing, man.
Well, I
The whole
appreciate that.
thing. But
Appreciate it.
yeah, man. No, we appreciate you like no other, for real. Do you have a few minutes to stick around and do our segment?
You bet I do.
Our no knock raid segment. We got a shout out to Dad Botanicals, who sent me our new audio clip. We're gonna lead us right in. We are coming in. I know it's a little menacing, but it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. Again, the whole point. I want that to encourage you guys to kind of. You can donate your artistic talent to the show. We want that more than your money. I assure you. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe not more than your money, but it is as valuable to us. So we are in J Train's garden tonight, scoping out what he's got going on.
I do like big leaves.
I can tell that one front and center is an indica, a little squat thing with those wide leaves, right?
Oh yeah.
So tall.
Looks like he's got the
That girl in the back. Ooh.
Got a lot going on there.
Woo.
Full tent, very very nice looking
So
plants.
pretty.
He's
Beautiful.
got a nice mulch layer with that straw. He's got let's see, what looks like they're, what are those? Rain Science bags? Rain Science grow bags? You know what I'm talking about?
Super like pure mesh.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. High quality mesh, work great. Look at that beautiful indica leaf, fat
Big
fingers.
leaf.
Perfect specimen.
Indeed, yeah, man. This is a nice looking garden. I'm impressed so far, J Train. We've got a purple
Ooh.
looking plant here. It could be the purple pentalania.
I was gonna say she looks very familiar.
That does look familiar.
It could very well be. Well, we're not here to ask too many questions. We just break the door down and start looking, snooping around.
I love it.
So I always like to gauge plants. I'm gonna assume, J Train brother, that you're growing autos. This has the look of autos to me.
Looks
Doing
like a
like
nice OG right
perpetual,
there.
right? Well, first of all, it has to be autos because we got one in flower and one in veg. So this is a perpetual grow setup.
Well, I
They,
mean,
they
you're probably right, but he could just have a perpetual flower room. You just throw his
True.
plants into. Seen people do that too. But you're probably right.
Probably more likely, but yeah, I hear you. It does not 100% sure. We're playing like Guess Who. You know what I mean? This is kind of fun, actually. What's
It's a
what's
big
this like
ass plant.
thing? This fog coming down from?
That's the AC
Humidifier.
Infinity humidifier.
Oh, with
That's
the
the tube
hose.
for the humidifier. Yeah.
Next to the fan.
Interesting. Yeah, good
That's
place for it.
throwing it right in front of the fan. Very smart.
Good spot for it. And then like this looks like his temperature probe right there hanging, dangling. I do the same thing. About canopy level. Looks like he's got
That
a
is
little.
a big plant, and she's got
Yeah.
a while to go.
Yo, but look how happy she is, praying like that.
She's gorgeous. It's a beautiful, beautiful girl.
Absolutely. I like the old school fly strip you got. Hey man, like listen, if you got a fungus gnat issue, you got to do something. Go to the fucking Walmart, get a fly strip just like that.
Those work. I mean, simple, cheap.
They work. They work. But I would say the CC method, the solution is your BTI product. You can grab it from Microbe Life Hydro. It's called what is it? The mosquito thing. It's not called the mosquito thing.
Oh, it's not. Oh.
You know what I'm talking about.
I typed the mosquito thing into Google, and that's
It's
not what I
not
got.
called that.
No, it's not that.
But man, look at this beautiful purple one. Deep purple. That might be anvil now that I'm looking at it. That's a deep purple.
Yeah. That leaf structure's not quite right.
But yeah, dude, like looks like you're doing, I mean, if I had to guess,
Pretty.
just
Pretty.
because you got that mulch layer,
Wow.
you're probably doing
Look at that chunker.
organics.
Yeah, which is interesting to me because I noticed a lot of tip burn on those plants. So he's
Oh,
definitely
you can
feeding a look.
definitely get tip burn.
Oh no, I've said it. You can before. A lot of people don't think you can. It's kind of funny. But you can definitely burn a plant with organics. I fucking did it myself. Easy. Stunted
Yeah.
the thing.
That's a beautiful picture, though.
I
love
do it all
that.
the time.
I love that. I'm gonna give you a little star here, a little green heart in the Discord. Thank you for letting us barge right in to your beautiful garden, J Train. I mean, unannounced visit, and I mean, I don't really have any complaints, my friend.
Stunning work. Beautiful.
Bravo. Bravo. Well, shit. It appears that we've reached the end of the ride.
Oh,
Wah,
that's
wah,
sad.
wah. It is, but rest assured, Alabrije will be back. He is a friend of the show. You can find him in our Discord. You can raise the bat signal for Alabrije. Don't do it often. Don't do it often. He's hand packing seeds. Him and his wife. He's making spray painting boxes for you, making custom pins and
Roasting
T-shirts.
coffee.
Come on,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Don't
what's up with
bother
the
the
fucking
man.
coffee, man? Shit, can I
Not
get some?
yet. So exciting news! My new roaster is coming in. Supposed to be here by the end of July. I just did a small apprenticeship with a local roaster, a guy who's been doing it for 30 plus years. Got tons of valuable knowledge from him. Felt a lot more confident than my old rudimentary roaster that I was starting on 2 years ago. It gave me the confidence to just go on and upgrade my roaster. So I've got a big 1.2 kilo thing coming in,
Nice.
and I'm excited. It turns out, the real way to learn and just get it done is to just trial and error every bean. It's like cannabis. Every single bean is different. There's so many variations and so many different ways to roast, just as there are ways to grow. That it's just like any other plant. There's a lot of variables to it and a lot of fun to just mess around. I definitely
It's
get the
cool.
feeling it's like growing weed. It's a wormhole. You start opening up and
Oh
start
yeah.
geeking out, and there's all sorts of equipment and oh, I gotta try that new bean from Rwanda. Like, oh, was it honey washed? Oh, sick, dude. Yeah. So it's just gonna be. I look forward to. My goal at Monster is to have the first coffee drop by the end of the year, and then next year I might start like a small little subscription thing where you could sign
Shut
up
up and
for.
take my money.
Uh-huh. All of it. Here you go.
Yeah,
It's
right.
yours. Give me your Venmo.
Well,
I,
yeah, still some practice to be done, but I'm definitely feeling
It's cool,
much
dude.
better than I was 2 years ago.
I love good, like, heady coffee. You know what I mean? And to support you, which knowing what you do with some of the proceeds, you're just a good guy, and I'm sure knowing the pride you take in your breeding, that's going to be amazing coffee. I can't fucking wait.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
exciting.
Yeah, I like big terps, and it's the same with coffee. I like those coffees where you can like smell it
Cannot
through the
lie.
bag, and
I drink it black, so I want good coffee. I'm not covering up
yeah,
with cream or sugar. I want
flavor.
good fucking coffee.
Ah, yeah, you are so right though. It is all about the terps
It's
with your
it's the
coffee.
same. It's
Same thing.
and that it's just like weed. Comes down to freshness, and that would be part of the thing is we would mail it out within 24 hours of roasting. So getting it super fresh that makes a big difference in flavor.
Ooh, I can't
Nice.
wait.
Again,
Just like your herb.
extremely logical, sir. Extremely logical. But yeah, thank you, man, for coming on. Yeah, I encourage anyone who's out there listening to come find us in our Discord. We're hanging out there most of the time after show hours. Alabrije has his own Discord too. You can go there, check him out, get more like strain specific info, pictures, and that kind of
Hmm.
stuff. But yeah,
Where else can they find you?
yeah,
Yeah, I'm Instagram alabrije.genetics. Yeah, I'm in the Cultivation Conversation Discord. Just hit the at Alabrije Genetics and I'll appear. Um, Also,
I,
woo,
I said
that,
don't exploit that power, my
it's okay.
friends.
It's okay. I like to get some notifications.
You
It's
let
fun.
old Captain know if anyone's bothering you, okay?
I don't think it'll come that far, but yeah, no, or just my website, alburyheadgenetics.com. You can email me there, and yeah, the zine we were talking
Yeah,
about earlier,
subscribe to the zine. Where
Hmm.
where can people do that? Through your website?
right on the homepage of the website. Just put your email address in, and you'll get it emailed every month to
And
you.
that's
Dot
alabrijegenetics.com.
com. Yep,
Easy as can be.
easy as can be.
Awesome, dude. That's awesome. I mean, it's so cool to see how far you've grown in these last 3 years. You know, like a proud papa.
Well, I appreciate you guys, man.
Not at all.
The
It's
podcasts go a long way.
nah, dude. Like it's the hard work, my friend, and like you doing it the right way. All we can do is spread the message of people doing things
It's the
the right way.
community. It's the
So
community that goes a long way. It's what I
for
We have
sure.
a hell of fun.
yeah.
But well, yeah. Thank you to you. Thank you G3. Thank you Monster.
Thank you, Cap. 150
Thank you,
fucking
Cap.
One of the
episodes.
highlights of my week.
Thank
Yeah,
all of you.
right. 150.
150. Congrats.
Holy shit.
Nice.
You know, we're in like a
Big night.
rare category of podcasts. Most crash and burn within like 50 episodes, I'd say.
This was episode 150.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. Nice. Congrats to you guys, man.
Happy
What a
150.
yeah, that's a huge
Happy
milestone.
150.
Congrats to y'all.
Thanks,
Thank you.
man. And yeah, we're proud for it to be you on this momentous episode.
I'm honored.
But it's really because of all the people watching, because of all the people who listen out there in podcast land. And yeah, it's truly a community-driven thing. So like, we do this for you guys, and what that
A little
means.
bit for us too.
A little bit. It is the
It's
highlight of my
fun.
week.
We like
I'll
what
be
we do.
real. But what we need you all to do is to be tent pirates out there. You know, we need you to be a little stealthy. We need you to navigate the waters successfully. Like sometimes you got to raid a vessel or two. It's just the pirate life. But the important part, my friends, is to not ever get caught. Talk to you in a week.
Peace.